hope you're not too busy to listen to our stories. We hope you like them all and you don't find them boring. And are you shitting me?
We're fucking back, man, and we got a super
shaking the table already.
awesome fucking guest,
Already
Scott.
fucking with the table.
Who's been on. This would be his third time. Unfortunately, the second time it got lost. We found it, but I would like to say that on the first time we recorded up in the mountains, that was one of the best trips of my life. I had so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
God, damn.
So here's the deal.
I don't know where we were. I don't know what day it was, but it was fun.
So first, primarily, I'm a statistics guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the 4th episode that we've recorded together.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
One at camp that got rained out.
I was just gonna say that.
Dude,
He's a fourth
that will never make the air.
That will never surface.
I was drunk. I didn't know what we talked about.
We were all a little bit tipsy, and we got passionate about a couple of subjects. And it was
really good.
It was
really good.
It was like therapy for me. We won't mention the contents of it. Maybe that'll be a fan exclusive.
Sure,
someday,
we'll do like you gotta
we'll have to sell that one.
A Patreon.
There will have to be non-disclosure agreements included in this.
I remember the rain.
It was lightly raining back at camp there. That was when we were staying off of, that was 237.
I love that you remember the names of these campsites. So can I, for the listeners, you're back with us. So can you walk us through where have you been since the last time?
So the last time I think that we spoke, the last time we had the podcast, we were down here for my daughter's baby shower.
Yeah, your granddaughter or you?
No, it wasn't for the baby. It was for something for Roman.
Really?
Was it Roman's birthday? Maybe it was in April. We'll have to check the date. But yeah, we were here doing something for my first grandson, Roman, that was born April 1st, 2023.
Okay. Wow, it's been that long.
Right. So now,
yeah.
Then
Jesus.
I was working up in Flagstaff at Starlight Lanes. Shout out Starlight Lanes, the only bowling alley in Flagstaff, Arizona. Original, built 65 years ago. Ron and the staff there, my old chef Ed Kolna. If you've ever been in Flagstaff, stop
the original bowling alley ever.
And it's right next to the
first one. Flintstones.
It's the one that's right next to the museum club. If you're a musician and you're serious about just getting up on a stage where famous people have played, the museum club's a place to go.
Really?
Dude, Willie Nelson has played on that stage.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's kind of eclectic. Like the guy that started it, it's the largest log cabin in North America.
Whoa.
He made it that way specifically because the Route 66 used to be like a big tourist attraction.
Yeah, the thoroughfare, yeah.
Lumber's been a big thing in Flagstaff since Flagstaff's been Flagstaff.
Right.
So a lot of lumber workers were laid off and out of work. So this dude, as a philanthropy project, he was a taxidermist. So he built this big log cabin project to like draw attention and like put a little local hot spot along the Route 66. But also he displayed all these taxidermied animals in there.
Wow.
And so they call it the zoo. Later, there was a band, an old country band called the Bob Willis Band. They were at Bob Willis and the Texas Playboys. They bought the place and turned it into a bar, but kept the theme.
Huh.
So when Lee and I were up there, they had an open mic.
Okay.
And it's the first time I ever played music in front of people.
No shit.
Yeah, man. I told you when I played that day. There's on that recording. There's
so that's the
song.
first time you ever played in front of everybody was in that museum club?
Yeah, in the museum club. And that was only after there's a guy named Anthony Applehoff at Arizona Music Pro. He's their guitar. He's one of their guitar techs there. He's a local musician. The guy, he flew while we knew him. He flew to Jamaica. And went through like this drumming session and had like a recording session with some reggae artists that tuned up some of his like tunes. You can find his music online and on Spotify and stuff. The band that he plays with is called 69 Hippies. It's legit, bro. And some of their music, they have a song called the Master Plan of the Illuminati. That is, it's a legit banger, bro. And he's an old Marine. Dude's a fucking cool guy. He's from California originally.
Again, I want to go back to no. Because I can listen to you forever, but I'm just curious. So to go back to that club.
Yeah.
So they built it there specifically to draw people in.
Right.
And there was a time when there was, what year was this?
So 1930s or 40s.
So it's in the Great Depression.
Yeah,
So there's
that's right.
pre-World War II.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I believe so. Yeah, because it was either Lee. Could you fact check that for me?
Yeah,
See when
the
museum club
Depression
opened
was before World War II.
Yeah. Well, we got Jason here.
up? And
So
never saying. I would have sent that the Depression hasn't ended.
well, yeah. I mean, really.
I've been going through it.
Pretty depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even there then, but
We just
We're
moved
still
to
depressed.
the standard state.
Since we're talking about it, how do you know that why they named Flagstaff Flagstaff? You see,
So Flagstaff was supposed to be the capital of Arizona at one point.
why didn't?
So Flagstaff, the coolest thing about Flagstaff that you guys might understand like I do is the whole city of Flagstaff, the layout was designed by Freemasons.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
legit design. So
Yeah.
it's designed for functionality.
Right.
But the old system they designed it on isn't being used anymore.
What is it?
1931.
1931.
For the museum club.
Well, that's
shit.
It's what?
It's being sold or closed.
Oh, they're selling.
Damn,
Look
they're
at it.
selling it.
Another Flagstaff landmark.
Wow.
The matter of fact, for the when they came up and did when you guys came up and did that recording, we took you to one of our little the Jerry's of the North.
Oh, yeah, the railroad.
The railroad cafe, and it closed while Lee and I were still living up there.
Man, I tell you what, I was up there about a year ago or sometime with my friend James, and I wanted to take him there, and I Googled it, and it said permanently closed. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Well, so it's kind of actually a positive story for Flagstaff, which we were seeing out north kind of start to happen a little bit more. Lee and I have been down in while we were living in Flagstaff, we took a trip to visit a friend down in Tucson one summer. I don't know if I told you about that.
I don't know. What happened?
We got trapped.
Where?
The engine in Lee's car broke down at the Oyo Motel, which is outside of like towards Picacho.
Okay, damn, you're out there.
We had to call a friend who lives deep in like South Tucson, down off Valencia, and be like, "Hey, man, we're fucking trapped." And he's like, "It's gonna take me a while to even like get out
Yeah,
there."
it's like Drexel Heights area.
He's
That's
like,
out there.
Man, but we'll come through.
Yeah.
And I've known this guy for a very long time,
Right.
so he swung through and picked us up and took us to his house there in Valencia. And
Oh Jesus, you guys are in
2
the south
days
side.
later, you know.
Well, I grew up, so
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm from there.
Yeah.
Like I grew up off South Benson Highway. Hattie
Oh.
Manor Hotel.
Dude,
What's
that's
up, baby? The
fucking-
Scotsman.
that's
that whole
crazy.
area. That whole area. That's what I'm talking about. Lee and I stayed at this. I got a fucking review of this, a glowing review at the Scotsman Hotel from a couple of years ago. Dude, it was that
Dude,
I'm
I
telling
love you got to
baby.
review it there. That's amazing.
I'm about to be a level 7 Google
Dude,
guy.
I
to the
love, dude,
Scotsman.
I fucking love it. I love how invested you are in this, man.
It's the authenticity, to be honest, man, not to, and this isn't to down anyone else's state. This is just to say that I've lived in this state since my birth.
Right.
I challenge any motherfucker out there to rep Arizona as hard as I rep
Dude,
Arizona.
I try.
You
I
cannot do it.
love fucking being from Arizona.
love this state.
Yeah.
Lee and I are going through kind of a merch launch right now that I've been developing for a long time, man. A couple of brands that run parallel.
Really?
AZOG, Arizona Original, always Arizona. It's my tag. AZOG 82. Just take AZOG, slap the fucking last 2 of your birth year on it, bang, send us a fucking email. We'll make you a hat or a beanie, homie.
No shit.
So the kind of the theory behind it is I created this trademarkable Arizona OG.
Okay.
Kind of like a little.
Oh, I'd seen it. Yeah, I
trademark
actually seen that on the back of your notepad whenever you
Yes,
were
sir.
talking earlier. Yeah.
You'll find it at Sarah's. You'll find it at Sarah's bullpen. You'll find it anywhere that I visit or I authenticate something. I use it like a sigil stamp, if
Fuck
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Hell yeah.
So then,
Is this your? What is
this
this?
is always AZ.
Oh, okay. So, and to go back real quick because I want to hear the rest of the story. So you get called down to. You're on the south side of Tucson now.
So yeah,
the Scotsman.
So we walk out of the south side.
Walk out.
We walk out of the south side. It was during COVID, so they were running the free buses, but we hung out at the bus terminal and we did not.
No, it's
We did not want to get on any of those buses. So we walked from there down to like 6th and 4th Avenue around where the...
Downtown.
Well, and then we met a guy that was down there. Matter of fact, bro, I cannot wait to I have not talked about this man. So we met a man that day, and actually from my old friend's house there in Valencia, we went down to another special place in Arizona called Arivaca.
Oh, yeah.
Arivaca is a fucking...
What's Arivaca?
So Arivaca is a census area. You ever heard of the Arizona Boys Ranch?
No.
We used to play them in high school football.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Close to Kearney, isn't it?
It's right behind. Yep, right
Yeah.
south of Kearney. There's a little town called like fuck, I forget what it starts with a G, but there's a little town that's right in front of it, Ganado. But then when you go past Ganado and go down in there, the area is the Buenos Aires National Riparian Reserve. What happens geographically in that area is, since it comes down through the mountains that separate the U.S. from Mexico right there, the land there forms a temperate bog in the South Desert fucking Arizona environment.
Real quick, can I just say something? So one of my really, really good friends in Ireland, Keith, he was taking photos of his dog in a bog.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he said, hey, Levi, he was just through voicemail. I could probably even play it. He said, have you been to a bog? You know what a bog is? He said, down there, it might even look like what Arizona looks
Yes.
like. How funny. And then that was just like 2 days
so
ago.
nuts.
Well, so what's up, Keith? Anyhow, so you're
Keith,
this...
strong
represent
Irish. So yeah, Tomlin comes from an Ulster Scots line.
Okay.
That comes from Scotland through Ireland, through counties Wicklow.
Wicklow.
And extending, but
Nice.
McToyman was one of the original derivations of the name. So
And I don't mean to. I just want
No.
I like when you're focused and you're telling a story, man. I'm fucking. You got me. Even when you're unfocused, because I follow you wherever you go, and I'm like, wait, how the fuck did we get to this?
it's a problem.
So no, it's not at all. Not for a podcast. It's
Well,
not.
so
And
to
let-
explain, real quick, to give a disclaimer to explain that, because I've been on a journey of like self-discovery for a couple of years now, like 7-8 years now,
Good.
as to how my memory function works.
Right.
So my specific form of autism is called hyperthymesia, which basically means I remember my entire biographical life as if I'm continuously living it. For me, I am.
Right.
So whereas other people, what I'm starting to understand, because most people who have hyperthymesia, they don't understand that people don't experience life the way that they experience it.
Right.
Like for me, there's no difference between me and the 5-year-old me, if that makes sense.
I mean, it can make as much sense to me as it possibly can.
Sure. Like, so some of my earliest memories were non-vocal memories. I was too young to be able
Wow.
to talk, but I can remember the things
Clearly.
I've always told the stories within my family.
Details. You can remember details of these.
For example, so the earliest story that I recited to my family one time that they said that there was no way I could remember. I'm telling them, we used to have my great-grandma's brothers had property in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Okay.
We used to go up every year for a big family reunion. All the Clarks and Claridges, which from this area were a huge family.
Yeah, those are big names, local names.
Right. I just ran into my cousin
Yeah, they're
Cheryl.
still around.
Yeah.
I just ran into my cousin Cheryl at fucking Thrifty. She works up at the middle school or at Metcalf School.
Oh, Metcalf School.
Yeah, and I was like,
holy shit.
I was like, you know that those are kids, right? You know, my mom lived with, like, hey, you used to bar 10 bar the fucking Bonnie Heather in the riverfront.
Dude,
You know what I
those
mean?
are some
Like,
old fucking names you're bringing up.
well, I lived in Duncan in the 90s, 93 flood. Walked
Damn.
through the mud, baby.
No shit.
Yeah. I was Boyd Brothers burned down while I lived there.
So let me so bring us back to this. So what memory were you describing?
I was describing sitting in the back of a Blazer, an early 80s Blazer two-tone.
Chevy, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Little Chevy Blazer,
Yeah.
S10. My uncle Glenn had bought it because he worked up at PD.
Right,
They
making
lived
that
down,
money.
Dude, down in the hole, lived off Bornite.
Okay.
My cousin Josh Little was like my older brother. I was the oldest in my family of three.
Right.
3 brothers, 3 little hellions. So I was like, yeah, I remember because we were talking about my cousin falling out of the back of the truck.
Okay.
And it was my older cousin Novia, same age as my cousin Josh, so they're 3 years older than me. And I'm like, I remember I was sitting in the back of the truck. I was facing out. The camper was open. She was getting too close to the edge, and she tumbled out of the back, and then she started crying. You guys came around, and she said that Josh pushed her, but Josh didn't push her. She just fell. She was playing too close to the edge. And they're like, there's no way you can remember that.
How old were you when you?
18 months old.
God damn. No way.
It's not my earliest memory. It's hard to believe my earliest memory.
What is your earliest memory?
9 months old. I was in a Johnny jumper.
Yeah, okay, Johnny Jumper. Yeah, the little suspended. Right.
My mom had put me in the Johnny jumper. So up on Lebanon Road where the Alicio family now lives.
Yeah.
Bernie
The
Alicio.
loop.
The loop.
Yeah.
The old loop.
The
so
old
not
loop.
on the bottom loop.
So
up
David's
on the top
family.
Where it's,
David Alicio.
David Alicio's dad bought my grandma's place. That's the place I was raised at.
No shit.
For the first
Phenomenal
7 years of my
soccer
life.
player.
Yeah.
Brother.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro. And listen, and David Alicio, me and him in high school, he was part of the group of us that went and sang in Carnegie Hall at New York City.
Oh, you're telling us on the last episode you guys made it to Carnegie Hall.
Bro, me and
no
David
shit.
Alicio.
David Alicio was part of that shit.
We met a group of girls there. He was dating Leslie Harrington. at the
Oh,
time, bro.
Leslie Harrington. I
And they
remember
were on a-
Leslie.
and they were on a split because she got mad. So I was like, come have coffee with me down in the lobby at Starbucks with these chicks that we met from Oregon that are here at the hotel.
Also singing?
Also singing. Part
Okay.
of the same choral group.
Okay.
So we go and meet them because I'm in New York City, baby.
Yeah,
So
NYC,
I was
baby.
pretending like I was a
Home of
full-fledged-
Nas. Home of the Wu-Tang
Not only
Clan.
home of Nas and the Wu-Tang, but at the time I was a heavy Yankees fan.
Oh, shit.
Like
the
we
Bronx
didn't have-
Bombers.
dude. And I came up with the Yankee system since '95, homie. I started
Wow.
being a fan, so I was there like for Jeter's rookie year, Mariano Rivera's rookie year, bro. I watched
Wow.
that shit on TV religiously.
Did you guys get to make it to the stadium?
No,
No. Real quick.
no,
So
they
let-
didn't take us down to the Bronx.
Come on, kids. We're going down to the Bronx. So let me ask you. Can I
Any
take this back?
questions?
So I want to hear more about. So you're at the bog.
So we're at the Temperate Bog.
Okay.
They have it's an eclectic mix of people.
How did you end up there
Live
again?
down there. So when we had previously, I was living in Mesa, Arizona, working for Red Mountain Roofing up there.
No, but how? So you and Lee ended up. Okay. All right.
No, we're at a dispensary down the road there in Mesa, and I had been talking to one of the bud tenders there, and he's like, "I'm going through these fucking issues," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, well, I'm a shaman. What do you need?"
You're a shaman.
So, shamanism, the way that we define it, and the way that most shamans define it, most people think of death.
Oh, I just think about people guiding somebody through mushrooms.
That's what. So yeah,
Yeah.
any transition,
Or any
transition.
you're right.
Any transition that's significant in your life.
Oh, it doesn't have to necessarily be hallucinogenics.
It's the death of your old life.
Ah, the way you explain things, man. You were explaining the number 12 in my living room, and I was like, holy shit, I've never thought of that.
Can I give you a cool, quick explanation of something that's I would really,
Yeah, but I really want to get back to where we ended up.
So,
but
let
go
me
on.
write. I'm taking notes on where we're at so I can stay on track.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you and Lee ended up walking somewhere, and you.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we were staying with a friend. So through the dispensary, I meet this guy, and he's like, "You're a shaman."
Okay.
He's like, I'm supposed to talk to you. So I'm like, cool. So we have a couple of interactions. We go in one day, and he's like, hey, it's my last day here. I'm quitting here. I'm moving on to this new job.
This is a roofer.
No, he was.
He's
worked
the
at
bud
dispensary.
tender.
Yeah, the bud
Okay.
tender. And he's like, I'm moving on to a new job. He's like, I'm making a change, man, and I appreciate it. But I talked to this girl recently, and her name's Kaylee, and she's a shaman, like
Okay.
you. And something tells me that you need to talk to her. So I'm going to give you her phone number.
Whoa. You never met Kaylee.
Never met her before. that
Okay.
time. So Kaylee Barnhill,
Barnhill.
as it turns out, used to work for the dude known as the Tiger King
Okay.
years ago before that. So she did a radio interview with Bob and Tom out of fucking Tucson.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So it was during that time that Tiger King had just become like huge. But
Super popular.
Lee and I hadn't
Before
s-
Karen.
And Lee and I
Yeah.
didn't see it yet. So when we met,
Oh, you don't even
Kaylee,
know what Tiger King is. You have no fucking clue.
we've watched it since, yeah.
Yeah, but
we're-
at the
we're
time-
as invested as everyone else. You know what I mean?
We're all locked in our homes watching.
Baskins
Yeah,
killed her husband, whacked him. Just for that, I'm like fucking, gold, man.
Dude, goddamn, we say it like that. So
I didn't say it. There's a video of my kids saying it, man. I'm just repeating it.
all right. So you reach out to her.
So yeah, I
And
hit
then
her
you-
up and I'm like, "What's up? What
Yeah.
do you need?" And she's like, "Well, me and my sis, we're renting this place. We do a mobile animal grooming service."
Okay.
She said, "Yeah, I was on that show." I said, "Well, we've never heard of that show, and what I can understand from it is there's some pretty traumatic shit that happened."
Right.
I said, "So what we'd like to do is never watch that show as long as we know you.
Yeah.
Because what we'd like to do is, if you have any excess trauma from that, we're here to help with that. If you want to tell stories about any of that shit, we're here to hear them. But more appropriately, what's going on? Because we met this guy that said that you might be able to use it." She said, "Well, yeah, I'm moving into a place down in Arivaca that I'm renting.
Okay.
It's me and my kind of soul sister.
Okay.
Right? They're both like 33 years old. They both got gastroparesis, so they're all fucked up. They can't remember they got no appetites. They can't remember to eat. So they're moving on to a full-fledged farm with fucking horses and donkeys and animals, and they're running like a full-time business.
Okay.
And they're just getting moved in. So they're like, we could use, I don't know, why don't you guys just come down and visit?
Sure,
I'm like,
okay.
we're not. I said, I'm working, right then I had left Red Mountain Roofing, and I was working on the Intel campus for a subcontracting group called Kelly Services.
Okay.
So I was, they have these machines that are called dry etch machines, and they make wafers that turn into the silicon chips that you use inside computers.
Wow.
So on the new batch, they're most recently, they had built like the largest manufacturing plant
Yeah, I've
in
seen
the
that.
world. So I worked
In the world.
Yeah.
In Arizona.
In Phoenix.
Yeah,
It's
down
out
in
of-
Chandler, South
It's,
Chandler.
yeah.
Google, they have a whole campus
Phoenix,
down there.
Chandler.
There's and now out of Phoenix there are some other
Let's not get on that.
there are some other interesting operations that run out of Phoenix. There's a place called Intermountain that does document storage, so highly sensitive documents. We did the roof for that when I was working for Red Mountain. It rained while we were doing the flat roof for it. And we had like not exposed roofing, but roofing that had been just covered for like a small storm.
Yeah.
And I woke up to a fucking phone call at like 8 a.m. on a Saturday, and it was one of the owners of the company. He's like, "Hey, that Intermountain facility that we're doing in South Phoenix might have taken water, and we need you to go check and see if it's ruined or not." And they said if one wall leaked and one fucking the file boxes
Yeah.
got wet, there's a process where they have to send it to like San Antonio, Texas, have it cryogenically frozen or cryogenically like cryo dried out to do it. He said if we lost the whole wall, it's over $10 million.
God
that we're
damn.
done as a company.
Yeah.
And I'm riding from East Mesa. I'm like, God damn.
Sounds like
bro.
a Watergate.
And I'm watching.
Sitting there with a
Brother,
flashlight.
I'm watching the storm clouds over Phoenix right
Oh,
there.
so the
I'm
storm
like,
hasn't got there yet.
no, it's already been all night.
Oh, it's been all night.
I'm like, we took water. There's no way we didn't. I'm
Yeah.
watching the storm roll out. So I get there.
Oh, he watched the storm leave. Oh, fuck.
So I get there, and inside of our big coating truck, there's a ladder that's big enough to get up on the roof. It's locked. So they gotta call another dude who was on the job. So he comes over there. We get up there. As we're walking up, the side of that, the roofing that we're using is like, it's PVC, but it's not. It's another material that's similar. So it's pretty stout.
Yeah.
But the edges of it are like peeled up. So I'm like, fucking here we go. We go up there and we just peel it back barely. We have to brush some of the water back.
Yeah.
Peel it back.
Ginger.
Dry as a bone.
Wow.
Baby. Dry as a bone that day. I was like, I said, can you do me a favor, man? I said, this is your company and your brother's company. Yeah.
Right.
I am like, there's nothing that I can do. That's the worst feeling. I think this as a tech, brother. You guys have all been in situations where because of your work, on the way to assess whatever's going on, which is going to be a worst case scenario, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're calling on you to put eyes on it is like stressful as shit.
Fuck yeah.
You're like, there's
Yeah.
okay. so
You'll
I have
be
to
the
go tell
bearer
you,
of bad news.
bro, always,
Right.
dude. There's a a veterans housing down by a ASU called Valor on 8th that we put the roofing on, and the contractor that was in charge of that project, his name was JD. He was a really good dude, man. It got to where if I walked into a contractor's meeting, JD would just stand up and go, "No, fuck you, get out of here. You come in here and you make me feel like we're friends and like you're gonna get this fucking work done." And I'm like, "Hey,
I'm just
you
here.
know,
I'm just here.
I'm
Hey.
just telling you what they're telling me." But in all those situations, so like with Kaylee,
Okay, there we go.
for me to go down there and help them organize a homestead,
Yeah.
right, versus organizing a major fucking roofing project downtown at a hotel that's also a Burger Theory restaurant,
Right.
one versus the other is not that hard. So basically what I got to do is go walk around in their yard barefoot like I used to do out in my grandma's yard, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we got to read the way that the fucking water's going to flow, and we got to see where we should plant shit and if we should crop plant things, or my preference, since you got horses, if we should natural plant some shit like carrots and stuff and radishes that'll naturally come up. That way when you take your horses around, they just got natural food to eat on
Right.
your property. All that, she was renting a really nice cut of land for like $600 a month at the time. So even
Wow.
right pre-COVID, it was fucking nice.
Yeah, life was good before COVID. In a lot of ways.
And I experienced it working at that facility where I was in like a level 100 clean room. Those facilities scrub the air pretty religiously because you can't have any like anything.
Right.
Bro, they're using acid, and like those dry etch machines, what they do is they etch in the silicone using an acid solution. So what I was hired to do was PM. I was going to be a PM mechanic on those, like the
Yeah,
highly sensitive
pre-maintenance,
machines.
yeah.
Yeah, and during cycle. The problem was they hadn't even started using those machines yet. So all 8 of us that they hired as techs, we were currently training in like parts clean, which is like where we would, there's only like 4 pieces you even take off that machine, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you send it to parts clean, then it's acid cleaned and like stabilized, and then they repack it, and then you get it back and you use it.
Is this all for chips?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
not
elaborate
only-
business.
So the chips come off of a giant wafer where they're all kind of mass printed,
Yeah.
but they're etched chemically.
What are these chips for?
Well, See, you know all the chips we've been buying from
Intel.
China all these times.
Well, I don't know.
Well, for years we've been buying cheap chips from China.
Right.
Oh, cheap chips? Yeah, cheap chips. That's
and
like the band.
and we've been using them. We've been using them for our military,
yeah.
for everything, our industry,
yes.
all our infrastructure.
Right.
And
We're doing our
finally,
own.
with our new administration, like
We're doing
no.
our own.
Well,
It goes back
there's
before
there's
his last administration.
the current leading chip manufacturer, actually, and I won't say their name on your podcast. I'm not trying to get you blacklisted. The current leading chip manufacturer, actually, that works with these like AI and LLM models, is under antitrust investigation. Has been for years, man. The Google. I don't know if you even know this. Like Google has already been declared a monopoly.
No, I have no idea.
Google
Yeah.
is now
pretty-
slow.
yeah.
Google is supposed to release all their data to every other search engine company
Right.
because they monopolized it, and they're now slow playing that shit. They're like, nah, nah. So they merged with Apple when it comes to AI.
Right.
So now it's Google plus Apple. So if you run an Apple device,
Gapple.
you run Google.
Gapple.
They are in the tech world. They are known as what's called enmeshed. There is no longer a Google and an Apple. They are together. Their partnership is
Wow.
so strong that there's
Is
no
that what their
difference.
AI? What's that?
Gemini is going to start
Gemini,
running on
yeah.
like Siri.
Okay.
It's going to start being the background AI for Siri.
And
Gapplegool.
Gapplegool.
Yeah,
Gapplegool.
Gabagool!
Gabagool. Like, so was the conclusion to the story.
So we end up in Arivaca
Okay.
with Kaylee Barnhill
Barnhill. I love
and
that
her
name.
and her sis Carissa. And Carissa's from St. John's, Arizona.
Oh, I love
baby.
that area, yeah.
Yep, local as hell. Kaylee, they call her Boots. Kaylee, this girl is so wild, brother. She will take off on her horse and ride into downtown Arivaca, which is like, it's like you went to Tombstone or like old Tucson, bro.
Right, okay.
There's a general store there that if you go in there enough and they don't have what you want, you can just ask them to order it in and it'll be there with the next shipment. Like,
Okay.
they'll put you on the list.
How big is this community?
A couple hundred people.
Maybe.
A lot of people that moved out here in the 70s that hit money in the Silicon Valley tech expansion
Yeah.
and then retired from that and then came out and bought like a whole ranch and then grow like weed.
Yeah.
Ah.
They've been growing out there for years. It's just legal for them to do it now, so and that's all they do.
Yeah, that's around where Forrest grew up.
Is it?
Actually,
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Forrest. So, where is this in proximity to, like you said, Coolidge?
South of Tucson.
Oh, south of Tucson. I'm
Yeah, south
somewhere
of
else. Somewhere else.
South
completely.
of Tucson, that's all I'll say.
Did you know that there's a? Did you know that
I
there's?
don't want to give them people away, man. It's too beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
And the
It's like a
community,
little paradise.
They have a whole. I moved off of it
Their
because it has.
ecosystem is
Phenomenal.
yeah.
Well, yeah, down.
First of all, there's a gentleman there named Barefoot. What's his name, Lee? It's not. I didn't think it was Tom. I thought it was Barefoot something else. Barefoot Tom. That's what we'll say his name is, regardless.
Yeah.
There's a guy there named Barefoot Tom that was in the like information industry in the 70s. Their whole town runs on a network he built and manages.
No shit.
Dude, all their computing goes through his fucking server, his private personal servers there. He maintains them for free. It's a service he
And
does
his
for the
name's
area.
Barefoot Tom.
He walks around barefoot all the time. Kaylee
Wow.
will ride her horse, I don't even think she lives down there anymore. But at the time, like you would see the community page.
Yeah.
So if you got invited to be a part of their Facebook community page, it meant enough of the people in the community knew you.
Right.
When we went up there, for example, her landlord, whose wife worked at the general store, he came by and was like, "So you're the shaman."
Ah,
And I'm like,
so,
yeah.
So your connection to these people are all from this one conversation
From this
you
one
had,
conversation with a bud tender at the dispensary down the street from where Lee and I's apartment was in
and
East
that was
Mesa.
it. So then through this one conversation, you ended up talking to these two girls that were on the show about the gentleman that
Yeah.
got eaten by the tiger, which is what?
Yes.
What's it called?
Tiger King.
Tiger
Tiger
King.
King.
Tiger King. So now you're in this community. Well, you've been invited at least.
Well, we're helping them set up. So when I say we're helping them set up, like they had 2 toddlers at the time. So we were putting up an above ground pool. So I was digging it out properly, leveling the area, and making sure that it was set in an area where it wasn't going to cause like problems when they drained it out and shit like that.
Right, yeah.
Hooking up their washer and dryer, running the hard lines from them, all
Okay.
that shit, and just getting that stuff done for them.
Getting shit figured out.
Man shit.
Yeah,
Man
well,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that when they had the reason that those 2 girls even met was they were part of the formation of what was going to be like an intentional community between a lot of their friends that were like in their mid 20s, and then when they started putting the intentional community together, they all paired up. and then
So-
they all split up, and then they all went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Life finds a way. I've been saying this a lot. And
Oh,
Jeff
bro.
Goldblum.
I have a whole section that's just Jeff Goldblum.
Dude, yeah, we've been talking about him a lot lately. So I want to ask you real quick, if we can. How did you get kicked? You got kicked out of Jerry's?
I got asked to leave
Why?
Jerry's.
What happened? Can I ask?
It's the same thing that happened to me when I got kicked out of the River Church recently.
What's the river? Oh, you got kicked out of the River Church.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, well, he told me to sit down and shut up, but I didn't. And so that's my.
That'll
and
happen.
Technically, when I said we're gonna leave, they said you don't have to, but the invitation is pretty clear, and it was just a simple misunderstanding, to be honest.
Was this during the service?
It was during the service.
Okay. What he said? He must have said something that didn't sit right with you.
No, actually, I think I understood the point that he was making during the sermon, but what he said was, he was talking about Jesus. And
Yeah.
He said, who would, no one would do what Jesus did. Who would volunteer to take the suffering of another as their own? So I
A
raised
lot
my
of people
hand.
do.
Well, I raised my hand, and I didn't know I was going to be the only person in the congregation who raised their hand. Because I was trained up at Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church.
Yeah.
I was trained to believe that's my fucking job.
Yeah.
As someone who believes in the way,
Right.
that's my job. I'm a
Right.
United States fucking Marine.
Right.
That's my job, homie.
So you raise your hand.
So I raised my hand, and he goes, ha ha ha.
No. Okay. Nice laughing at you.
So
Okay.
I stood up.
Oh shit.
I said, I will. And I raised my fucking hand just like I did when I joined the United States Marine Corps, stupidly.
Yeah.
I said, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'll do this.
You
what
think
he,
I can't?
What did he say?
Homie, I'm still bearing the scars of a brother who was buried when I was locked in prison in 2008, my friend.
Right.
I'm still carrying trauma.
Sure.
My point is, what's a little bit more? If I can hear someone suffering and identify with it and take their burden for the space of a conversation, why the fuck would I not?
Right. It's a legitimate response to a question.
So
It was a pretty, people suffer for
He
their
said-
families all the time.
Right.
And for people, and,
And
so
strangers. And,
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
the book you're preaching out of says, no greater love hath any man than for a friend to die. That means no greater love hath a person than for a friend, not for your brother, not for your son,
Right.
not for your wife,
A friend.
for a friend
You're not biologically related
that you
to.
lay down your life
Yeah.
for someone that you don't have to.
Right.
So, and that's the whole point of like the Christian model is Jesus' love superseded there was no reason for God to love you. That's what the book says. There's
Yeah.
no God. The narrative of that book is God makes an agreement with man time and time again. Man breaks that fucking agreement horribly.
Constantly.
God comes up with another way,
Yeah.
like a punishment. After a while, the punishment stops, and he's like, you know what? Maybe they're right. Okay, the only way we can equate this, I don't understand. So maybe that's what God thought. So now I do have a son, and now that son's gonna have to die the way that in the Old Testament, right? A lot of this stuff had to happen.
Right.
So I'll make this equation, and then we can be one again.
Right.
They can have my presence again. I can have their presence again. And they said no. They said no. But to be fair, the person or the mythos surrounding the figure known as Jesus Christ, right?
Right.
Can be healthily separated from the history of it. And it's still such a fascinating fucking story.
Yeah, it's still
That
the top-selling story in the world.
But not only that, the roots of it can be traced to where it touches the same themes that are represented in Eastern medicine and Buddhism.
Right.
The whole Sky Father
You're drawing a map or a
paradigm comes from the Proto-Indo-European language group.
So that's what we were talking about earlier in the
Earlier.
in the street. Yeah.
Within this language group, the name for the sky, which was their main system of being, it was the container of the. To them, I mean, you think about the primitive people, like the sky was the container of the sun and the moon, for fuck's sake.
Everything. Right.
All the stars.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So they didn't think like outer space or outer atmosphere. They thought, hey, the sky is.
It's it.
You
Yeah.
see that furthest place, and they damn sure knew distance because they calculated
Well,
trajectory.
through sextants and yeah.
Right. They
yeah.
sailed. We know
Right.
they sailed and they traveled, and even traveling across the desert. If you've ever been out at the dunes at night, bro, you might as well use the stars because you ain't finding
Right.
There's no landmarks, no
Yeah,
roads.
it gets. Yeah, I've actually read a lot about this, but real quick, I just want to bring this back for a second.
Where to? Aravaca? The
No,
Scotsman Hotel?
no. To where you stood up in church.
So then after that, he said he kind of laughed and he said, okay,
Yeah.
sit down and be quiet.
Oh no. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, no.
Thank God that someone else heard it the same, because I said, oh, no. I said, clearly, me and mine, that's fine. Now, I had already made a healthy show of praying because I pray the way I fucking pray.
Right.
Do I think that Jesus is offended if my hands move when I pray? I don't think so at all.
Right.
Do I think that Jesus is offended if I sing in a loud voice during singing service? I don't fucking think so at all. Do I think that Jesus is offended by the word fuck? I don't fucking think so.
Well, it's
at
on the
all.
Bible. I think about that all the time. Like the word fuck isn't anywhere.
You know what else isn't in the Bible?
What's that?
A restriction against drinking alcohol. This is not.
Well,
this is just one of the subsections where
It says it's fine to partake, but to get drunk.
these are.
It does talk about
and it talks
getting drunk.
and there are certain restrictions on priests drinking during the performance of their duty.
Right. There was alcohol all over the Bible.
But yeah, and most of these come
Doesn't
from the
forbid it.
Old
Right.
Testament, right?
Right.
So the model of Christianity that we run is not an Old Testament Christianity, because Christ wasn't born during the transpiration of the Old Testament.
Right.
That was a covenant between the God of Abraham.
I love you writing this stuff, man. I'm gonna keep these notes for future. This is fucking awesome.
This was the God of Abraham and his people,
Okay.
right? The 12 tribes of Judah, the Jewish people.
Right.
So it says in the New Testament, once Jesus brought the new message, it says he brought it first to the Jews. And then...
Is this a conversation you're having with this pastor standing up with this?
No, but
I was
this,
like,
this
wow,
goes into the
this-
basis of it.
yeah.
So it says, and then to the Gentile.
Right.
When the Jews rejected the message, Jesus said, fine, open it up to everyone. The way I look at it is like, we came to fulfill this contract between God and his chosen people.
Right.
If they don't want the knowledge that we're giving away for free, that's fine. You can give it to everybody. God says it's everybody's knowledge.
Right.
Matter of fact, go ye therefore and teach in all nations the things that I told you, right? So in the first letter to the Corinthians, the Apostle Paul addresses this very issue. He
Okay.
said, look, there's a lot of segregation going on in this church,
Yeah.
because some of you are Jewish converts and some of you are Gentiles. He said, Jesus said, if you once you're following this way, if you were a Jew before, be as a Jew.
Right.
That means the traditions that you have, all the sacred things that you're supposed to do, you continue to do those and be a Christian. But if you weren't a Jew before, you don't act Jewish.
Right.
You don't have to start wearing a yarmulke and go. That's their,
Being good at math. No, I mean, can I?
You mean
Excuse
screwing
me.
people over on a deal?
See, you see the difference between the two stereotypes, where one's great.
That can be said of any racial stereotype.
Right?
There's a lot of positive racial stereotypes. I've noticed.
Listen, I've done a lot of time. My son's godfather, his name's Titus Quentin Fox.
Titus
2
Quentin.
X's. He's a burgeoning stand-up comic, man, out of South Carolina.
Nice.
I met him in MOS school down in Naval Air Station Meridian, Mississippi, way back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
He's heavy South Carolina. Like, I'm telling you, you'll look up some of his comedy and the way this dude talks, man.
Yeah, one of those
And
guys.
he's talked like that since he was like 18 years old when I knew him. You know what I mean?
All right.
He'd be like, my kid's Melena.
Just works.
You know my first wife, Melena.
Yeah.
So he knew her. So he'd say like, "Hi, Melena," shit like that. That's just the way the dude talks. Or
Right.
he'd go, or randomly we'd be standing there and go, "It's time for the percolator." It would just start fucking popping.
But you know,
You're like,
it's the delivery. Somebody could say anything, and it's fucking hilarious if so long as they say it right. So and Scott, so they kicked you. So they've asked you to leave church,
they've asked me to leave church,
and you did,
and I did
peacefully, because that's what you're a peaceful man.
Yes, loudly.
What did you
peacefully.
What did you say?
I just talked to the congregation instead.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I just told them on the way out, I will.
Yeah.
If you're down, if you're lonely, if you need something, I'm here.
Let me know.
Let me know. And then
You left.
we left and we went,
Did you go to Jerry's and get kicked out of Jerry's too on the same day?
No.
Oh, damn, that would be fucking gnarly. He's on one.
we actually, so my family history on my dad's side goes back to the early 60s here in the Morenci.
Okay.
By 68, they had formed a church called Stargo Baptist Church that
Okay.
existed until the 80s up there.
Wow.
Then they moved that church down behind Joby's, and it was Mount Carmel
Oh,
Missionary
I remember
Baptist
Mount
Church.
Carmel. Yeah, I've heard of this church.
It's my family's church.
So they had a like a, I don't know if this is exactly correct, but
Mickey Wilson, the bus driver that saved a kid's life that you were beating up with a skateboard one time.
Mickey. You're
I
thinking
don't
of me. But when I was
Allegedly.
a kid, allegedly. When I was a kid,
What happens in Solomon? No,
stays
not.
in. When I was a kid, I went to a church camp in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And
I went to one of our church camps.
Was that one of yours?
Oh my God!
Dude.
I wasn't at the one you went to, of course, because I would have remembered. But you were there with Mickey, Brenda, probably.
There was a
Billy
girl,
Walker.
Aaron Pittman.
Brenda, one-legged
Aaron
Brenda.
Pittman. No.
okay.
This was so the Walker family, who was the pastor when
Walker with one leg. Is that what you're saying?
No.
You know what's nuts? Do you remember seeing on my Facebook when we got invited to go onto the Navajo Nation?
I don't. What
Okay, so it was years ago. We were living in Flagstaff, and
Yeah.
we met this chick named C. C's grandfather was the originator of the police athletic league here in Arizona. He's this Navajo dude, right?
Okay.
His son, C's father, he's a full-blooded Navajo dude. His name is Herb Walker.
Herb Walker.
Good
That's
old
a
Herb.
I said, "Does your dad run weed?" She's all, she's all,
Does he run weed? Yeah.
So she invited us. We went and spent a week there on the res in Window Rock, right outside of Window Rock.
Oh,
at
yeah.
a sawmill.
Yeah,
and
right,
shit,
right.
At her family's Hogan. It was fucking cool. She got in a fight with her dad while we were there, headbutted him. Bam. I told her, "What do you think, you're Hulk Hogan?" That is not a lie.
Hulk Hogan.
That happened on the day of her grandmother's funeral, and we were late. We didn't go to the service. We were supposed to go to church the next day, but we were too litty, so we didn't make it in time. We showed up 30 minutes late. Everyone's getting out of church.
Right.
As C rolls us up, 2 Budweisers deep. We're on the
Hair of the dog, dude.
baby. When you are up north, if you are lucky enough to get invited into the heart of the Navajo Nation,
Yeah.
and you are riding deep with a legitimate Navajo Nation princess, which we were.
Yeah.
Her family, C's family specifically, if you look into the pageant princess system in the Navajo Nation,
Yeah.
her family is like, her mom's Cochiti native and her dad's Navajo, which is a rare combination up there anyway. Cochiti are a very small and exclusive tribe.
Okay.
So
I hadn't even heard this
I
yet.
know, it's fucking, dude, I grew up here.
You're right. Apaches. Yeah.
Right, so we grew up next to the Apache Reservation,
Right.
so that's kind of all we knew. But
My friends, all my homies were Apaches.
and then doing federal time, so I did 7 years in the federal system, 6 years off of a 7-year sentence in the feds.
You
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
From 2006 to 2012.
Right.
For some weed.
Yeah, we're talking about something
Just
the
for
first
some
time.
weed.
Just some weed.
From weed.
Yeah.
So, and doing that, and because I practice Old Norse pagan systems,
Yeah.
the outdoor religious area that we're allotted in the federal system is always on the same area that the Native Americans have, and it's just a delineation.
Oh, so you're practicing this religion in prison.
Oh yeah, since
Wow.
2007.
So you know a lot about it, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. So one of the cool things about being in the feds at that time was there was no Marvel. There was no like Thor.
I was just gonna say, like,
There
no
was
Marvel Universe, Thor,
No.
all that.
So most of the stuff that we got, like the information that we got, were the basic, like the set of the Icelandic prose and poetic Edda, which are these captures of history by this like 12th century monk who's writing down the history of the Norse people.
Wow.
They're all the Icelandic sagas that are the actual stories of different families, like tribal stories, kind of. And then there's a whole video series called The Vikings, which is the professor that does the series is Kenneth W. Harl, Harl. And so it's like just hours of listening to the actual history of Europe through this lens of like the Normans and the Saxons and stuff.
I believe I watched all those.
Dude, there and you can connect them right to like some of the god structures and the myths and the mythos that surrounds them. It's
and I've been
nuts.
told I got in a conversation with somebody one time. He was talking about how in Iceland, Greenland, they were trying to convert them into Christianity.
They were the last ones to convert. Yeah,
Yeah, and
they
they
had like 1,000 or
and they did
1,200.
like a hybrid version
well,
of.
it leads right back to this.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing because
Practice what you
the
learn.
Greeks,
And
Yeah.
the Greeks, which are the first Gentile translation of the Bible. So when when the Gentiles accepted Christianity, they demanded that the translation be into Greek because at the time, Greek was the only written language that the European people had. Greek, Roman, Old Norse, Sanskrit all trace back to Proto-Indo-European. They're all direct
Sanskrit, like the Russian?
No, Sanskrit's Indian.
Yeah.
Indian.
But Russian too.
Russian too.
Rus, the tribe of Rus was a Viking tribe. Dublin, for example, like the capital of Ireland, for your Irish friend, right? Everybody there knows that Dublin's the twin capital because the city of Dublin was ruled by twin Viking kings. It's nuts. History's crazy.
I love history. We talk a lot about history on the show, man. But I wanted to. So, how did you get kicked out of Jerry's? Or asked to leave. Can I know this? Do you want to talk about it?
So, by the way, we went back out to my old family church real quick to say this. My family, the oldest surviving member of the pastorship there, my Uncle Pete, who's 95 years old, turned the deed over last year to new ownership.
Wow.
So the legacy of my family being at that church has ended. And the new pastor there, his name's Richard, and his wife Tandy, they run Narrow Road Disciples. They are a Universalist church. They are a Come As You Are church. They're not a Stay As You Are church. If you stick around long enough, they're going to try to change you for the better for sure. But they've allowed us to kind of base our ministry under their kind of ministerial shield.
Okay.
But just to say that we took off out south of town, where I'm from, where they don't mind if your Jesus is a little bit loud,
Right.
where they're looking for someone who can sing above the noise.
Right.
Because what happens when you sing in church is other people sing. What happens when you sing loud is that people who can't sing feel comfortable enough to let their voice ring.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Makes
It's
sense.
not the thing that we all know around here is when someone's fucking genuine or when someone's putting on.
Yeah.
And the second you get the feeling that someone's putting on, you feel like you're being made a fool of, man.
Right.
And when it comes to the trauma of everyday fucking life and the reason that people are going to church in the first place, that's the most dangerous position to put a person in, is now I have to act fake in front of God.
Right.
Because you've told me I have to come to this building once a week to please God.
Right.
Jesus said, surely where 2 or 3 are gathered. Y'all been at church since I started talking about Jesus. You had no choice.
Right.
I hijacked it.
Right.
Y'all two are the most dangerous motherfuckers I know, but me and the Holy Spirit standing right here talking about it.
Dude, it's so interesting that you study this as much as you do, man. And like you said,
I used to be a stone cold atheist, homie.
yeah, and it's funny. We were talking about something earlier, and it's like, how do you know? You said that somebody had asked you, like, how do you know all this shit? And you said, because like I don't. This is my job.
Well,
This is what I do.
yeah. At some point, I figured out I was mixed up, man. My priorities all shifted.
Sure.
I want to be somebody.
Yeah, you are somebody.
No,
Right.
but I didn't understand that. That's the difference. Because of because of the tick of autism that I have, I had a function that's known as imposter syndrome.
Can you explain imposter? I read this term in Thrasher the other day. I was like, what is this?
And a lot of people are hip of diagnosing themselves with certain things. Yeah,
It happens.
Like intrusive thoughts, for example. I'll give an example.
Okay.
Some people think, oh man, I just thought about pushing that lady into the fucking
Into the mud.
into the mud. That's
Right.
an intrusive thought. I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
It is. But some people be like, oh man, I want chocolate so bad. I'm so bad. That's like an intrusive thought. No,
No.
no, that's not an intrusive thought. An intrusive thought is being too scared to look over the edge of a cliff because I'm not sure if I'm going to make the leap or not.
Don't trust yourself enough? Is that what you're saying?
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I know? How do
Right.
I know I'm not going to look over there and go, that's not as scary as I fucking thought.
Right.
Because I'm aware of what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm fucking and if I'm too aware of what's going to happen, I'm utterly fascinated with what's going to happen. I'm going to watch 17 fucking YouTube videos about what's going to happen.
Right.
I'm never going to watch the ones where it shows it happen because I can't because I'm a coward and it'll turn my stomach.
Right.
But I'm going to watch about other people talking about how they walk up to the edge. I might even watch other people walk up to the edge and yell at them. Ah, you fucking idiot, don't walk up to the fucking edge.
Right.
Stop! What are you doing? Yeah. I might base my whole life on keeping people away from the edge of things, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for me, like the intrusiveness of a thought is me like just being aware of the reality of a situation and the realities that happen all the time. If you're driving down the road and you think, I can just fucking
I think about
I would
that all
fucking-
the time.
That's literally an intrusive
just
thought. That's
drive off the side
and
of the
it's
road.
not. And when you tell people that, some people misassociate it, right? They go like, "Oh my God, my man." You're like, "No, I'm not. I'm happy as fuck.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to die at all."
But if I was in some parallel universe where there was no repercussions,
consequence?
yeah, dude, I think about that. If I'm just driving down the, or I hate to say this, and I will, I just drilling somebody. They're just standing there, like, dude, what would happen right now if I just drilled this person?
I had a theory.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Knockaround Guys?
No.
It's an early Vin Diesel joint.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he's got the Jewish star tattooed on him.
And he levels Goldberg. It's
Yeah.
the wrestler Goldberg in the role, and he fucking levels him in this bar.
Right.
But he tells us the way he introduces it is he walks
500
up to him
fights.
and he goes 500.
Oh, 500,
And the
right.
dude goes 500 what, douchebag, and spits tobacco on his boot, right? And he goes 500 fights. That's what I figured when I was a kid. After 500 fights, I could call myself a real tough guy.
Yeah.
I could say, my scars would show the leather in my hands or whatever. Then he dismantles him, yeah? But I told my friend, I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and
Yeah.
I told my friend who was a corporal, I said, I'm on that. I
Yeah.
said, and I already got a couple.
Right.
I got a couple. I got like 4 or 5. I said, but here's the deal. Do they have to know that we're fighting? Or can I just, like you said, can I just go like,
clock
bam,
him.
6?
Yeah.
And then just run off, you know what I mean? Or
Non-engagement.
Well, if he goes down and doesn't get up and chase you, I mean,
that's how I
that counts.
found out how you could unequivocally ruin a person's day, no hesitation, and for the rest of their life they would just be left wondering what
What
happened.
the fuck?
You could just walk up to someone in downtown Phoenix in the business section, right when they're leaving, like they got the briefcase and stuff, and just run up and scream as loud as you can, "You son of a bitch! I can't believe you would do that!" Wham! And then run away.
Forever.
He
They're
doesn't know
fucked.
why, and he's gonna tell that story for the rest of his life. He said,
Yeah.
"I don't know why," and people are gonna go, "You know why?
Yeah.
What did you?
Yeah,
do?
right. You're gonna sign
What did
issue.
you do?
Yeah, well, you know fucking why.
You know
You banged
why.
you banged this old lady.
Yeah, you
he's done
what-
something.
what did you
You know,
do?
I think about this sometimes. I lived in Tucson. First apartment complex I ever had. I remember this is one of those situations where something happened to me, and I still think about it every fucking not every day, but
Welcome to every event of my life, Levi.
I was walking down this like breezeway, and some woman in a fucking
Fago Peach.
in a fucking dress, a flower dress, runs up and she looks right through me. She looks right through me, and she's like, "You!" And then some guy who's behind me is like, "No!" And I turn around, and there's some guy, and they start chasing each other, and they're gone. I got to get to work, but I thought, what
happened right
What
now?
was? Yeah, what the fuck?
What nuts, like, what universe did I encounter? Who, you know what I think during those times?
What's
You
that?
know how everyone says you're either like a primary character
Yeah.
or an NPC?
Yeah.
Sometimes we're all the NPC, right?
Right.
Like, it's their life. It's their show
Sometimes
that's
I just
going on. right
I
there.
just stumbled into it.
And you just happen to be in the frame, like that guy
time.
that's walking through.
Yeah.
They're playing Grand Theft Auto.
And I'm
You're
just the
trying
guy.
to get to work.
Yeah, the guy that's like jamming out to
Excuse
us.
me. They wreck the car right in front of you. Like, excuse me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was in that situation.
Just throwing hot dogs at you. Like, hey.
Excuse me.
Still
I
trying to turn at the corner.
I
Just loading.
I wonder about that sometimes. I wonder where in their lives, and what was the conclusion to that too? Like,
Buddy.
what do you think it was?
Listen, try meeting someone by the creek at Oak Creek near like a walking stick display that you and your wife had artistically set up with some rock cairns and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah.
With a lady whose twin daughters just picked sticks from there as you're walking up, and you're like, oh, and they're like, hey, there's this, and like, yeah, we put them there. And they're like, oh my God, how much do you want for these sticks? She said. I said, no. This is just, we just find cool sticks, and we try to keep them all.
Right. We want them all.
We have a van full of them, trust me. These are the ones that don't necessarily fit either one of us. And,
Right.
and we think, like, I'm from Arizona. So I know how many cool sticks there are, man. I know how many cool rocks there are. How many?
Trillions.
All of them.
Yeah, they're all fucking cool.
Stop picking up rocks.
Right. Yeah. I always come
We're
home
supposed to
with
be working.
pockets full of rocks all the time. Yeah.
The most famous Arizona rock that you'll find in Morenci, Arizona, for example, is a stone called leverite.
Leave it right.
Yeah.
Leave it right there.
Leave it right where you fucking
Ain't
found it. That's what they say.
So this lady asked.
So she's like, are you sure? Because they're so beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, we don't
Yeah.
we don't care. And she's like, well, what do you guys do? And I'm like, we work in, food service, and then we do this artistic stuff. And she's like, can I get do you have a Facebook? Do you have a business? Do you have something because I feel like I'm going through some stuff and I'm coming back up here in about a week. Could I schedule a meeting and just talk to you guys?
Jesus.
I know it sounds fake, right?
No.
So,
But it sounds like this can happen. Shit happens all the time.
So this lady, then we meet with her twice. We go to like Chili's right there in Flagstaff once and have a conversation with her, and then we meet her next to Lake Mary one time to chat with her for about hour and a half. And at the meeting at Lake Mary, she goes, I want to talk to you guys about something. She said, because I'm not from. I recently took a trip with my daughters to Lordsburg, New Mexico.
Okay,
I said,
that's a strange
Sorry.
place to go. Yeah.
I said, that's what I said. I lived there when I was a kid, baby. There and Bayard.
Bayard's another one too. So what was she doing there?
So she said, my ex and I were having problems, and he was real. There was a horrible situation. I was fleeing from it.
Okay.
I said, cool. So she said, I've been driving, and somehow I was trying to find Las Cruces, and I thought I was close, but I ended up in Lordsburg. I said, you still had a ways to go.
You
I
fell
said, I
short.
can understand why you get confused because it's New Mexico, so...
It all looks alike. Well, at least in the southern area, in that southern region.
Convince me, I'll give you 20 minutes. Convince me Lordsburg and Wilcox are not the same fucking place.
Dude, they're pretty close.
There was a WWF wrestler called Ted the $1 Million Man DiBiase. Do you remember him?
Huh?
No.
What's he famous for?
For being a WWF wrestler with like Hulk Hogan in them.
Yeah, but
He's from Wilcox.
What was his move?
In his autobiography, he called Wilcox the armpit of the universe.
Dude, I believe it. No, and the thing about Wilcox is it's so uninviting. It's just the wind is always blowing.
As you drive into it and you see the bowl, it's just a desert bowl.
Yeah, not a lot happening there.
If you want to go to a big bowl, I recommend the Cotton Bowl right here where we're at.
Where we're at. Yeah,
or Round Valley, man.
Yeah, it's another
Get
one.
up to Round Valley. It's springtime.
So what does this lady want to talk to you about?
She wanted to talk to us about an experience that she had, two that she had actually. One, staying in the hotel in Lordsburg, she was facing east at near sunrise. So she woke up, was having some coffee, looking out the window of the hotel.
Okay.
Her daughters are asleep. Now they're like 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
And she sees a static light in the sky that does not move. She watches the sun come up. She watches the static light stay exactly in the same location.
It's not a star.
Exactly in the same position, exactly the same size, does not diminish. She wakes her daughters up, takes them for breakfast the whole time. She comes back, she's monitoring, she's showing them. So she tells us that story. She said, I don't know what happened. I said, well, the only thing I can tell you is I have a story from when I was a kid, but my mom was like diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic with auditory hallucinations, right? Had adult onset ADD. And for most of the time that I knew the woman, she'd probably never said no to most drugs.
Right.
She was I love my mama, baby.
Yeah.
But she was a heroin addict since the time I was born, man. Like, so my mom was always hearing, and she was red-green colorblind.
Oh, yeah, so am I. But yeah.
So,
right.
You too.
Yeah.
My daughter's old man, red-green colorblind.
Yeah. Oh, I'm severe. I was just talking about this yesterday.
He's like, my daughter's old man's like a legit hunter. Can't track blood on the ground for nothing.
Oh, shit.
Because it's offset.
Right.
He drops him with the first shot, man. He doesn't,
that's it.
He don't fuck around.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
You got to get really good. Yeah.
So, yeah. My daughter, matter of fact, shout out, Via. She went on her first hunt last year, 7 months pregnant.
Badass.
Dropped her first buck. Took her 9 shots, but we don't talk about it.
Yeah, how far?
Hey, that's how. Listen, the person that shot Tupac tried 9 times, right? He took it and smiled. That buck didn't get up after the 9th. I know that. God rest the king. You know what I mean?
The king. We were just talking about Tupac.
Yeah, I
feel like we're always talking about Tupac. So then the lady, she talked about.
You know who we don't talk about enough?
Who's that?
Easy motherfucking E.
Dude, Easy. Well, we've talked about him before, but I don't feel like
I just played a whole playlist of him at Sarah's.
But I don't think even as a society we talk about Easy.
We forgot about Eric.
They
quieted him for some reason.
Swept him under the rug.
He skated. He skateboarded. There's tons of videos, and I mean, he wasn't good.
He skated into the afterlife.
No, he did. He's in one of the episodes, and we talked about
it's not that we got rid of Eazy-E.
We were talking about how like
Eazy-E didn't have that magic money.
Magic Johnson, right? How he just fucking
how the cure for AIDS was money the whole time.
Yeah. It's fucking gnarly.
It's fucked up. I was the vice president of the Graham AIDS Project in high school.
What's the Grand AIDS Project?
Graham AIDS Project.
Oh, Graham AIDS.
It wasn't so during high school,
there was
man.
AIDS here?
Yeah.
Was there AIDS in Savard?
Bro.
No way.
STDs? Oh my god.
Well, STDs, I'm sure, but did anybody die?
If people are getting herpes,
they're doing
the same activity that can lead, and worse than that if you think about now, like with the rise of IV drug use, man.
Yeah, it's got to be
IV drug use
prevalent.
was one of the and during the 70s and 80s, it was one of the big ones. You know
Right,
what I mean?
the
Where it was
transmission,
just-
and it was sad because it was. I mean, it's just a fucked up situation to begin with.
Well, you've
but
seen like Canada shit. Canada, a lot of countries have developed safe use sites. even
Yeah, it's
for-
frowned upon here, but it's everywhere.
Everything's frowned upon, man. We in this society, we frown upon a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we're pretty judgmental.
We're pretty good frowners.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
Which is
'cause-
why I got kicked out of church, because I'm a fucking smiler sometimes.
Yeah.
But at Jerry's,
Oh, yeah,
let me
take
tell
it-
you
yeah,
something.
yeah, please
If
tell
I
me.
go into Jerry's and they open at 5 a.m.
Okay.
and I go into the restroom at 6 a.m., okay?
Okay.
Me and my wife go in to use the restroom. And there's a lady there that
Together?
specifically, well, yeah, she and the women.
Oh, you okay? Not in the same.
Yeah,
This ain't Walmart. They ain't got a family one. You know what I mean?
You think I have a family one?
Yeah, every time. That's why my kids won't go with me to Walmart, because every time we do, I lead them right back in that family bathroom. I take a massive shit while I'm telling them stuff. That's what it's for. It's a family
Well,
restroom.
it's a
Then I
family
hold my
meeting.
hands there and wait till someone washes them,
So you're in Jerry's in the fucking restroom,
waiting for someone to wash my hands.
and they didn't.
It says employees must wash them, so I went and told them.
Hey, nobody's washing.
Your
my
sign
hands.
says
No,
no.
none of your employees are washing my hands.
So a couple of weeks ago, we go in and we're going to use the restroom. And when Lee goes in, there's a lady in there cleaning up the restroom. As soon as Lee goes in, the lady makes a sound. She looks at Lee and goes, "What?"
One of those.
Of course, she says.
Of course, what?
Of course, someone's coming to use the restroom when I'm cleaning it, apparently. So then, when she leaves there, she comes and knocks on this door. I'm in here on the shitter. I'm not answering. I didn't even know the knock was for me. This ain't my house.
Right.
Right? They would
I
have
always
rung
say
the bell.
seats taken.
They would have just said,
Seats
"Ding dong."
taken.
I didn't
That's what I
even
say every
realize
time.
she was knocking there. But I did right after that, because as she walked over here to talk to all the customers who are sitting here, she said, "Some people need to learn how to say I'm in here."
What?
Yeah, this was a couple weeks. So we didn't even say anything about that. We went out,
All right.
had the rest of our
They've
experience.
set the tone, though.
This last time, I go in, Lee's still asleep. I go in, I'm warming up, I'm get some coffee. I'm working on a couple things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Modeling some fucking incoming CME data through
Right.
my fucking...
You're moving, dude. You're
I'm
a
doing
mover.
stuff,
Yeah,
man.
you're a producer.
And it's cold as fuck, and we live outside.
Right.
So in the morning when it's 31 degrees, you wake up. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're going to wake up.
Yeah.
Turn off your heater tonight. See if you don't wake up on
No,
time.
I
to
know
work in the
exactly. Yeah,
morning.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
You'll
matter
be up at
what's
3
happening.
a.m.
It's
if
fucking
you work
cold.
at 7 and you turn off your heater tonight, you'll be up at 3 a.m. ready to go to
Fuck
work.
yeah, it's
like they got hot
freezing.
coffee there. It's fine. So now we left a banger review at Jerry's. A real I left the review. I mentioned staff by name. There's a server there that what's her name? Yoli. Yoli's been serving there.
Oh, yeah.
Yoli's
Yeah.
been serving there since I was a kid. But
Oh, Yoli's
I've
amazing.
known Yoli since
Yeah.
I was a
She
child.
bought the place.
It's her place.
Yeah, it's her place.
Oh,
Really?
Yoli.
Yoli's
It's
got it.
Yoli.
That's what I've heard.
Sorry, Yoli.
So there
I've
was,
recently changed the review.
Yeah.
but
So
there's
they-
a gentleman there too who's very fidgety and like talkative. Super
yeah.
cool.
Steven.
Steven. that
Steven's the fucking
saint, dude.
Sam, the waitress, Sam Fox is Chad Fox's little sister. She's a friend of my family for years.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. She's
Good
the
people,
whole
man. Yeah.
Good people that work there.
Right.
Good people that serve there. So this
The one lady.
Here's the deal. I learned from Morgan Freeman in the movie Lean on Me. One bad apple can spoil the bunch.
Right.
One bad representative on your service team, if you're in the service industry,
Right.
can ruin your reputation with a customer for life.
Right. No. Yeah. Certainly.
So the second time where I go in to use the restroom, and this time when she knocks, I answer, because I learned. She shamed me into it the first time, you understand?
Right.
I'm homeless and I need a fucking warm place to be.
Right.
I'll play your game if I have to, Your Highness.
Right.
So then when then what is it? Ah! I said, you know what? Complain a little fucking louder about doing your goddamn job.
Well, good.
Then I asked young Steven to bring me the fucking manager.
Yeah.
Then he did. And this little guy with his little fucking goatee,
Yeah, right.
came over to tell me I'm acting crazy. I said, listen, if this lady doesn't want to fucking work here, maybe she should seek employment somewhere else.
Right.
He said, well, if you're going to get all crazy, you can leave Jerry's. I said, oh, okay, friend. Is that? And then some asshole at the table next to me goes, I'm a little offended by. I said, I don't give a fuck what you're offended by, homeboy. I'm a goddamn United States Marine.
Yeah.
Fight me in the parking lot right fucking now. You think I won't? I'll wake my wife up so she can call my kids and let them know somebody's going to have to teach her how to bail someone out of jail.
Right.
Right, because I'm going for the long ride, because if the cops talk to me wrong, we're doing that dance too. I'll get shot today, bitch.
All
this
because
is Jerry's.
It's Jerry.
I grew up here.
Right.
I've been eating a Hungry Traveler since I was a Hungry Traveler. I want pancakes.
Right. God
Why
damn.
are you giving me grief for taking a shit in a restroom?
Yeah.
Lock it, motherfucker.
Right, it's not your
Don't
taking-
have the lady clean it an hour after you open.
Right. You're not taking a shit in the lobby. You're not taking a shit, in the kitchen.
I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
So I left.
Yeah.
I told him, all right. I said, you're out of here forever. I said, forever? Okay, homeboy. You must not know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
You must not know who the fuck your owner will come to you and explain to you why you're going to fucking apologize to me for bringing business back here, because I'm going to draw so much fucking business away from here, my friend. You fuck face. Now come outside. And guess who didn't come outside?
The guy. They didn't go.
They never come outside.
So let me, real
You
quick.
know why? By the way, little
What?
addendum. Because if you fight them inside, the police are definitely taking only you to jail.
Yeah. Right. Why is that? Just by
Because by coming outside, they've agreed.
Yeah, they've crossed that threshold. You're in public, right? You're no
he
longer
gets to hide behind his manager badge.
right. So, and I've been wanting.
I got in trouble on the fucking Morenci Uncensored. I stirred up a hornet's nest on there. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that releasing the names of pedophiles that live in your community would be frowned upon within that community?
Frowned upon. Why? What
A couple of people feel like the people that have been pedophiles have been judged enough. They've gone through enough. They said that's them. You can see it for yourself on Morenci Uncensored 2.0.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not. I was not on that side of the argument.
So what propelled you to do this?
I was bored sitting on the side of the road waiting for DPS to run me for the incident where the guy tried to run us
Oh
off the road.
yeah. You tell me that story.
Yeah.
And
Then,
it's
you know what? Can I give a shout out to a DPS officer?
Sure, man.
A Trooper Forgash, man. This guy and Sheriff's Deputy Ellison. I don't know
Okay.
if you know
Oh,
Deputy
yeah.
Ellison, man. Ellison's a good guy.
Yeah.
They
Well,
both.
he's the sheriff.
They really, yeah. Or not Ellison then. Ellsworth.
Oh, Ellsworth. I know
okay.
Ellsworth too.
Ellsworth.
Yeah, I know Ellsworth too.
Sorry, it's Graham County.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Say Graham County Sheriff Ellsworth. These guys were really professional. They handled the situation that we were in wonderfully. The DPS officer, as a matter of fact, we had a cargo smart bag on a roof rack.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, you're
did you
showing
notice?
me, yeah.
So it snapped off. Dude, we were we told him when he pulled us over, my gas light was on. We're on Montier.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I gotta go get gas, and then we gotta go look for this. Our luggage
bag,
rack came off.
right.
I didn't even know. He's like, damn. So I had showed him another post that I had put on the Uncensored from this big box truck that was riding our ass down El Puente the other day.
Yeah.
We were behind this dude. He was doing like 60 miles an hour, and you could tell he was on his phone. And every time he would jerk back, his back dualies were floating, homie.
Goodness.
And I'm like, so as soon as we could pass him, we passed him. And then going down the hill, it's past the 55 change. So I'm doing like 60, slowing down a little bit.
Right.
I do the speed limit, man.
Yeah. I mean, don't draw any unnecessary attention to yourself.
Fuck with me if you want.
Right.
You'll end up in a fucking ditch, homie. This is Arizona.
Shit gets wild.
You're-
Dude, have you ever noticed that car accidents in Arizona are always 20 times worse than anywhere else? Dude, it's just
Yeah, 'cause
crazy.
These assholes are
A lot of
driving
people
98,
die out here.
Dude, and
98 miles an hour.
by
bro. I don't
MVA,
know.
by motor vehicle accidents. I see it. If you watch, like, man, like, oh, there's always like these helicopter footage above someone's
You know,
running from the law.
I told Lee recently, I think this phenomenon comes from, Jason, you live out where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think part of the phenomenon comes from, if you're in Phoenix and you drive for 30 minutes, you could go all the way across Phoenix in like 30, 45 minutes at the right time, right?
Right.
You've went a distance, right?
Yeah.
But if you drive 30 or 45 minutes here, it takes so fucking long. It's a fucking journey. From Morenci to Safford is like, it's like being on the Oregon fucking trail.
No, it is.
It's a good.
It's a
good.
unless you've driven it 7,000
Yeah.
times, right?
Yeah.
And then what's the problem? Then you go around a curve and like, I thought I went around. I'm not
Yeah, this
already-
curve looks
yeah.
like a lot like the last curve I
Oh,
went through.
Baby, that phenomenon is what your brain does automatically.
What's
When-
that?
When your brain encounters information and encounters all the time,
Right.
it pops a little model in. Then next time you look, it goes, what does this match? Does this match this one? Yeah. Same? Cool. Same.
Right.
It fucking lies to you, baby. Your brain lies to you all the time, friend.
For what's the benefit?
The benefit is to make life survivable. If you're
Okay.
taking in too much input all
I
at
did go
once,
around one of those corners in the Black Hill once, and this is when I still lived in Safford, so like close to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, when I was first working out there, and I came around the corner once, and I swear it was a time to start turning this way, and so I just started turning. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah,
I was wrong turn.
Yeah.
You know what?
Especially in areas, especially if you work like a super hard shift.
Yeah.
That day
Yeah,
before,
for
you're
sure.
just fucking drained out, man.
Remember Tyler was on the show one time and she was talking about she went to she wanted to go to three-way and she ended up somewhere vastly different and she's like, how the fuck? Like, she's how the fuck did I end up here? Yeah, I don't know. I think I've heard lots of
If you at the times where you're checking out,
I do this at work all
when
the
you're
time.
dissociating, right?
Oh, right.
Your body's still doing shit.
Right, muscle
What
memory.
Yeah, and exactly, and not only muscle memory. So what we know now is that your brain is like an orchestrator. It's like a functionary controller, right? There's all
Right.
these like electrical gates happening. There's synapses that are firing. There's chemicals that are. If you work leaching long enough, you know what the fuck it is.
Right.
You got an electrolyte solution in your brain, homie.
Right.
And the signals that fire over there are hit receptors.
Right.
So we think that the brain is the operator of our whole entire being, but it's not. The gut serves the same function. It has memory cells. All your cells that your body has have memory.
Really? Well, I guess it'd be muscle memory. Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense. Yeah, okay.
So the kind of the breakthrough in biology that we're experiencing now, and it seems ridiculously late, but is the understanding that when my hand needs to move proprioceptively, it doesn't wait for my brain to imagine what's behind me to reach behind me and grab. It uses its sensors to
Right.
determine the space around me, which I know from experience. So in the times where like you see there's a famous clip of the baseball player getting interviewed, right? And then
Grabs up.
Yeah.
if you asked him, he'd tell you he heard it coming from he heard it coming off the bat,
It's
baby.
super impressive. Clip.
But really what it is a highly tuned mechanism where he knows the sound of a stadium. And when the crack of the bat comes,
right.
because that's the position he plays, he's reacted to it so many times that he's literally hearing the sound of the
judging the echoes off of
if you
everything.
lay
It's like
around,
superhuman shit. It's like super.
You ever
He's
have
really good at his job, man.
do you ever have a raven fly by you and you just hear the
Oh yeah.
you're like, I know where the raven's at.
Right.
That's because it's a Doppler effect, right? It's just that as a highly tuned athlete who's probably on all kinds of
all kinds of shit.
He's all, I feel the grass growing through my cleats.
Right.
By the way, Lee and I used to go to Diamondbacks games and I would creatively heckle the outfielders for the other team. It's one of the funnest things I've done.
Yeah.
If you're ever at the ball game, just heckle them, bro. This is what I would tell them, stuff like, your credit score is not as good as it should be for someone who's in your position in the Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? Like your parents are still not that proud of you.
Yeah, just get him. Did they ever react?
They laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some outfielders laugh at it.
Not out there to
they
fight,
get
and
it.
you're just
Yeah.
out there to come out, just trying to throw you off a little.
In case, what's his name? Marte hits a deep one.
Yeah, you never know.
I want you to be one jump off, man.
You never know.
I'm always rooting for the home team, man. That's my
Always,
problem.
man.
Unless the-
Diamondbacks are looking good.
Even if the home team, you know what? I'm saying it today for the first time ever on your podcast. You want to hear an exclusive?
Yeah.
Even if the home team's the Arizona State University Sun Devils on me.
Yeah.
I've mended that bridge.
Yeah, I don't care who. It's all Arizona.
For a long
that's
time, I was a holdout.
Yeah,
I
were
was
you?
like, I would just tell people there's two kinds of people in Arizona.
Yeah, there's the
Wildcats fans,
Yeah.
and then there's people from Phoenix, and that's not. But now Phoenix isn't even Arizona.
Yeah, I
Everybody
know.
from Phoenix is from somewhere else.
Yeah, it's
You can't
crazy.
blame Phoenix anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, it's wild. Greg, you're right though. It is U of A or ASU, but then whenever Pat Tillman, my affinity for Pat Tillman, I was like, eh.
And I lived there, man. I lived in the Valley. They're good people, man. ASU is a good school.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
It's a state school, which now what I know about state versus private schools too,
We'll
I
just
fucking
have
support
that
'em.
conversation too. So what? So where did you? So how long did you live in the Valley?
3 years overall.
3 years.
I ran hot 2 years or a year, and then no, I guess it was only like 2+. I ran up there as so I was during the time I was up there. We had a hailstorm here back in like 2016.
I know exactly what hailstorm you're talking about.
I signed
Fucked everything up.
I signed up with a company called Red Mountain Roofing that was here.
Oh, okay. So so they were here for that, and then you got signed on with them, and then you went back to the.
So I signed on doing sales and supervision for them.
Okay.
Then I transitioned into the director of Eastern Arizona operations while we finished up the roofing here.
Okay.
Then I went through a brutal breakup and divorce while I was relocating to Phoenix to just become a supervisor there. The first job I supervised was down off like 44th Avenue, where the airport's at, where all the hotels are at.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Holiday Inn with a Burger Theory restaurant. So I was putting all the metal roofing and all that shit on that, while another crew was doing the flat roofing on the top.
Okay.
By the time it was done, I was running both processes, and actually physically running like the dump truck, because I was the only one that could drive a CDL dump truck, and the forklift, the reach fork.
Right.
So shortly through that job, they pulled me into a meeting and asked me if I'd take over as sort of like the superintendent of operations. So
Okay.
at that time, I was superintendent of commercial and residential roofing for Red Mountain Roofing. When I joined up, we were about a $2.4 million a year company gross. By the time I left a year and a half later, we were sitting around 7.6.
Wow.
A lot of the marketing like strategies that I started to develop were during that phase of employment at Red Mountain. Like I had a lot of technical experience from the mine. I worked up in the hydraulic shop for a year with Jose and them dudes, Hose B.
So,
Gary and them dudes.
Can I ask you though? So back here though, so that storm came through, it ripped up everyone's fucking roof.
5,000 roofs we lost in this valley.
And so, how did you get a job there? Were you just somebody
I was the front desk supervisor for all 3 hotels that were still owned by one family at the time. The 2
Okay,
Comfortants and
over at the
Quality.
map,
Yeah.
the old map.
And all the roofers were there. So his salesman was there. It was a Friday, and he was getting ready to check out and go back to the valley. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you want to hold rooms for next week? He's like, nah, I'm sure we'll just get. I said, you ain't gonna get nothing, homie.
Yeah.
I'm the supervisor for all 3 of the hotels in town. I'm telling you, you want these rooms or not? Because that's it. You were cool. He was real cool. You know what I mean? He was
Yeah.
a cool dude.
So you guys were building rapport.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, let me call my boss. So he calls his boss. His boss is like, yeah. The next week when his boss comes down, he meets me. We talk about the area for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and he's like, why don't you come work for me? I said, doing what? He said, selling roofs.
Okay.
I said, check this out, homie. I used on him the same line that I've used on most motherfuckers before I got kicked out of a place, or right after I get kicked out of a place, or when I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
I'm from here.
Yeah.
So I know how many roofs are here. I know how many roofing companies are here because I'm booking all the fucking rooms, Jack.
Right.
What are we going to do after we fix all these roofs and I'm just here? Because these
Yeah.
people don't go around putting roofs on willy-nilly.
Yeah.
This is one of the money's tight here.
Yeah, it's
in Gila
expensive
Valley.
fucking process.
So he's like, all right. So he kept in contact with me over the next couple of months, and around, I think, December. So that storm happened right during the fair.
October, yeah.
It like blew the whole fucking thing.
Fucking terrifying.
You know what? There was another hail event that happened right after that, actually, out in Eden and Pima.
I didn't know that.
A friend of my ex's at the time was driving with her Jeep top down, top
God
off,
damn.
hard top of the house. She had to get out and get under the Jeep. She
Oh,
had Jim
my
Batista.
good-
Her old man Tony worked for FMI for years, went down to Peru and stuff on
Oh, okay, one of those
projects.
guys, yeah.
Really good dudes, really
Yeah.
good people, great people. But yeah, she got beat up, man, like legit.
Had to hide underneath the Jeep.
Bro, everybody's car, remember? Everybody's car was all
everybody's
dinged up.
car
bro.
was so. Our fucking trash can here sits here in front of our house, the big city trash can. I had to go find it the next morning. It was in the field by Dorothy Stinson.
Yeah.
That's how much
That was so
water was
nuts, bro.
flowing through this hammer.
dude.
Yeah, it was wild, man.
You know, events that happen like that here are becoming more frequent because the weather cycle's changing, but also it's like what we don't often understand because we have this identity here where we're like, we're in the fucking desert,
Yeah,
baby.
right.
But we're in the high desert. We're not in like the desert. We're not,
We don't have
we're not-
saguaros. Yeah, we're
Right.
we're in this different
we're in this-
2,000
we're in
foot,
this-
3,000
and-
foot.
And we're in a valley where if that fucking storm makes over that giant mountain, it's not leaving.
Right.
It's going to rush down the fuck. We all know that.
See it every summer. Yeah.
So, and then we all ignore the fact that Baja California is right there, and we act like there's not, like, in 2017, there was a hurricane that almost hit Phoenix.
Yeah, heard about that.
If that much tropical moisture is getting right there and then gets over that mountain, it's coming here. There's
Right.
and it's accelerating because we're in a bowl here, so it's a little bit hotter, especially if it's one of those fall storms where we've had like hotter days and then cooler nights, and then that fucking system gets pressed up over Mount Graham and just waits. That's why when does our monsoon activities start?
Well, I mean,
4,
anymore.
3, 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Usually in the old
Oh,
days,
in the
right?
afternoon, yeah.
You could fucking
Yeah.
time that shit, right?
Wow, yeah.
If it was coming from the east, it would come in that way. If it was coming from the west, you'd watch it, and if it could crest the mountain, you knew you were going to get some
be a
rain.
good one.
And it's not like when you tell people stuff like that nowadays, like I talk like that in Flagstaff and people are like, you're like a farmer's almanac. I'm like,
Kinda.
no, man. Because nobody, like even in Flagstaff's full of tall buildings.
Yeah, you
and
can't
pine
really
trees.
see shit coming.
Yeah.
Can't. And because of the way it's so like jagged, it sets up like these microclimates there where even during the snowstorms, bro, it'll snow 10 inches over here and then in town barely be a dusting.
Really?
It's a nuts little system there because of the way it drops down. Yeah. That's what we recently discovered about Safford as a whole, is that geologically we are not at a very stable juncture in where the geography or the geology underlying Safford and Duncan in the Gila Valley.
Well, you see, man, it was like 4 years ago or whatever, we had that big flood in Duncan.
Yeah.
That was like biblical.
We just had, and earthquakes. People don't really realize
there's
that.
an earthquake.
So on an average, Duncan has an earthquake every 6 years.
No shit.
We found data actually through current modeling that we found a blast shock that reverberated. We found a 16-second echo that triggered seismic. They did a blast up there that ended up, they thought they were going to shelve something, and it fucking shattered the whole plate. And
wow.
It's weird modeling that I'm able to pick up because I run these systems. So when I look at it, I'm like, yeah, well, we live in it. And most of the reason that I'm looking into that is because Duncan, Arizona is an anomaly. There are 9 standing calderas that are old volcanic structures in Duncan.
Really?
Ash Peak Mine is a volcanic structure.
So Ash Peak is that one it's in Duncan?
Mile marker 369. Right when you're going to Duncan, there's the road that goes up the mountain and the one that goes down, right?
Yeah.
The one that goes up, that's old Ash Peak Mine, and it was old silver mine.
Yeah.
There's 2 gold mines outside of Duncan.
And they're active, yeah?
The silver mine's not.
Okay.
Actually, Lee and I are looking into a BLM claim process to claim a portion of that area, and then a portion of the area that sits east of Duncan that's called Whitlock Cienega.
What for what?
So Whitlock Cienega is a collapsed caldera. It used to sit along the old Butterfield rail line.
Oh, but yeah, Butterfield, right.
You've heard.
Yeah.
So Whitlock sat here. It was an old stagecoach thing too. Whitlock. It lasted up until 1887. No, 8. Because in 1887, the Sonora earthquake rang this whole state like a fucking bell.
Is this the earthquake that made the river through Benson run the opposite direction?
Yes. It's also the earthquake that formed what we currently know as the Arizona Trail. You can trace the Arizona Trail all the way up from southern Arizona to northern Arizona, and it is the exact path of the rupture line of the
No shit.
Not only that, our modeling suggests that so you have the Superstition Mountains, right? This is like Lost Dutchman shit too, for real.
Yeah.
My buddy Robert has an intriguing theory on where the location of the entrance of that mine would have been. But his theory also includes a cascading collapse that covered up an entrance that would have been about the size of an oven.
Right.
So
I'm just crazy. You said right. I said at the exact same time because I'm like I'm realizing the same things at the same time. We're having a moment here.
I have another theory because he was working that claim on someone else's land. He was working on a ranch land that butted up on someone else's land.
What year was the Dutchman? What year did it?
1880, right. This quake effectively sealed that mine. Either way. Everything, so Superstition Peak is here.
Yeah.
Then across here we have the Four Peaks area, right?
Okay.
Across the canyon, yeah? There's a peak called Brown Peak. And what the seismological data tells us is when that earthquake hit Superstition, the canyon, instead of stopping there, the echoic reverberation of it.
Between the two?
That quake was felt as far north as Salt Lake City, Utah.
Holy shit.
People reported, local reports at the time from some of the area along that fault line reported that the sky sounded like it was tearing itself apart. Literally because of the crystalline quartz structure of Arizona, like it reverberated like a bell.
Wow.
So after this, what happened is the old Butterfield line, right, didn't take significant damage from the quake. But what happens in times after massive earthquakes is the next cycle for storms, we end up seeing an uptick in monsoon activity. And the next year's monsoon completely washed out the rail line. So when they rebuilt the rail line in 1888, they moved it and it ran through Duncan now.
Okay. So Butterfield at one point was a community.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Whitlock Cienega was like a trade post kind of.
Okay.
Now, Whitlock Cienega is 18 miles south of Duncan and 18 miles north of Bowie. Right.
Okay.
So what our goal in working, we've developed a BLM claim system where we can file to claim areas 20 acres at a time for reclamation. Our goal is to do it like areas like Ash Peak. We've been out and we've collected a lot of rock sampling and we've collected a lot of different mineral sampling. We've taken a lot of you can take a magnet out there, or not a magnet, but you can take a compass out there and walk around and the compass needle starts swinging because of the veins of copper or lead and stuff that are still in
underneath,
the ground.
yeah.
But the whole cool thing about that is that Duncan, it ends up being the drain system for where three major volcanic systems come together. You have the Mule Creek flow. From New Mexico's side, you have the Dato Mogollon flow. And then from the Safford side, from Mount Graham, right? Because Mount Graham's actually like a geological oddity when it comes to volcanic formation, because the base layer, the outer layer of the mountain is granite. And underneath is the lava structure. It's why we get like saffordite and stuff, is because that lava rock. Have you guys ever seen saffordite?
Oh yeah, is that like the transparent black one?
Yeah, the one that glows. Glows. Yeah. So as that is pushed up through artesian cracks in between where the magma structures in the deep earth and all the aquifers are at, as those rocks are just pushed up, they rub against that granite and they get permanently shaped and turned and fucking the geology of it's so fucking cool. And still they don't know exactly, like sapphodites are minimally classified. And that's part of the reason that we think this is cool too. So where these flows come together conspicuously, the highest elevation point is Ash Peak.
On Mount Graham? Where's Ash Peak?
The mine.
Oh, the one over here in Duncan.
Yeah.
That's the highest elevation?
Between these three.
Oh, shit.
What it ends up being is along the New Mexico-Arizona border, there are 4 distinct calderas that are right across from each other.
No shit.
So over here, Whitlock.
A little 4-pack.
And Whitlock Cienega, the place that we'd like to claim, the structure of it, and you can check this out on Google Earth, you can see how the backdrop, because that's what a cienega is. Anytime you see anything that's a cienega, like KP Cienega, it's a collapsed volcanic structure.
I had no idea. I wondered what that is. Because on the way to Tucson, there's like Cienega Creek and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that?
I always thought it was a real like borderline thing that I couldn't say.
Yeah, I was kind of in there.
I'm like,
it doesn't flow off the tongue very well. But at any rate, so that's what it is. It's a collapsed volcano.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason that we want to kind of reserve those areas is the program that Lee and I are working on, which is ambitious, is a program to not only file those BLM claims, right? But then to teach other people that they can do those BLM claims too.
Right.
You can do them if you live here in Safford in the Valley, or if you live up in Clifton or whatever, right? Most people are aware that for $5 you can get a personal firewood permit, and they'll give you a section you can go out and cut as much firewood as you want. Right?
I didn't know that.
For $40, you can get a commercial permit, and then you can sell that.
Yeah.
For $260
Is this real? Yeah, I didn't know that.
to start, you can claim a 20-acre section of BLM land to take dead and down timber.
And then sell it.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
That's for a whole year.
Okay.
So you go out, or you take the plat maps. The BLM is pretty specific on the way that you can claim the land, but their only specificity is that you have to use rectangles.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have a place an acreage of land that you're looking at harvesting the timber from, that's 100 fucking acres, you can claim concentric and overlapping structures until you get to the 20 acres. Cool.
Wow.
So, which is what we're doing at Ash Creek.
Yeah.
We're trying to claim a waterway that goes across that is a non-native waterway, so we can rebuild the structure.
Can I ask how much time do you put into this a day? Because you sound like you got this down packed, man. You got me convinced. I'm gonna go cut some wood and sell it.
Well, listen, no, don't do that. Don't do that. So, first of all, let me tell just the audience too. The maintenance on this BLM claims about $125 a year. Cool. The reason that we're looking into spreading the message about this BLM claim system, this does not mean that you own land. It means that you own the rights to extract certain things from the land.
Right.
Cool? Yeah. Here's the deal. If you're taking dead and down timber, that's what we call a surface operation, right? Everybody in mining understands surface level operation, right? The second that you reach below ground for agate, for example, now you're running sublevel operation on the same land. Guess what that makes you?
A miner.
A conglomeration if you file the paperwork.
Really?
You're doing multiple processing, you're extracting multiple things. They don't care that your fucking claims 20 acres, man. It's just what you can, technically you're a conglomerate.
So where do you find this information? Where did you find the information? Let me ask. Or just research until you come across something that jumps out?
So Lee and I have been mostly BLM living for.
Yeah, I guess anybody would know it'd be you too, right? Because you spend a lot of time on the BLM.
A lot of time hosted by the BLM. And if you're hosted by the BLM, what that means is that you're on public access lands. You're not on BLM land. You're not on the government's land. You're on everybody's fucking land. So please behave like you're on everybody's fucking land.
Right.
Please clean up all your shit. Please don't dump your RV shit tank where other people camp. Please respect the places that are in Arizona, because it's one of the last places in the fucking United States where you can genuinely live without paying anyone rent.
Really? Yeah. Where you guys were staying? Well, currently your guys' lifestyle. It's so.
Hakel Road, man. There's BLM camping at Hakel Road, and then there's BLM camping, and we pay for sites too. Owl Creek Campground card charges $5 a day for a campsite with a pagoda with brand new tables they just put in. Down all the way down in Sanchez, they just redid that too. They just committed the BLM. They were trying to raise the rate at the Owl Creek Campground to $15 a night because the BLM just used grant money. They're redoing that whole back road. They're like out there with graders every day.
Oh, it's a lot of work. It's a distance.
It's a distance. And Lee and I drive it every once in a while. We'll take that old Back Hills Country Byway on the way
just to go have a look.
It's a cool cruise, man.
It's beautiful.
It's nothing like it. But to say that is like, there are so many places worth protecting in Arizona.
Sure.
And for those of us who live here along the eastern border with New Mexico, we've always understood that whether you're in Reserve or Clifton, we're the same fucking people.
All day. Well, yeah.
And that corridor that goes up, from fucking Three-Way up through Mule Creek that way, and then the one that goes up the Coronado Trail. One of the travesties, I think, of history and time is that it's not accessed like it used to be.
Right.
Back in the 80s, dude, that corridor used to float. People used to be up there all the time.
Right.
And because they were up there all the time, I know my family, when we went camping, KP Cienega was a big place for us. We'd have 4 campsites full of our family at KP Cienega, and when we left, that campsite would look better than when we got there.
Right.
Because the families that used them wanted them to last.
Yeah.
So part of the thing that Lee and I are doing is we're putting together food service programs and like tourism programs to where we can introduce the right kind of people to those areas.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is conservation first ecotourism, meaning what we're looking for is people who want to see places in Arizona that they didn't know existed while living here their whole fucking life.
Yeah, it's a fucking thing, man.
We're not trying to bring someone from New York or Dubai over here. What we're
California, for that matter.
Someone who moved to Safford fucking 10 years ago from Phoenix and has no idea Blue Vista exists.
Yeah, man, there's so many people I've met in the mining industry that moved here from like somewhere else, and they're like, I didn't even know that there was a lake on top of the mountain. I'm like, dude, and that's easy.
Yeah.
That's day one shit. I say, wait till you find out about wait till you find out about all the other fucking creeks. Jason's property is one of the most beautiful fucking places I've ever seen in my life.
Someone sent you a hello.
Yeah.
I was just on Saturday. Sorry, but on Saturday
go
we
ahead.
were talking briefly. I was at my newest grandchild. I'm having a granddaughter. I'm not having a granddaughter. My daughter's giving birth to her first girl.
Nice.
2 boys she has. Roman, my oldest, and Marty. Oh, little Martin. This kid is a beefcake, man. They are grandma and grandpa's boys. My daughter is a Villalba.
All right, okay, Villalba.
So her family, family's of Villalba. So to say, and then the dad's family is a local family too. The Martinezes, they came here in the 90s from New Mexico. His dad's worked at the mine for years. Mom used to work at the hospital, works at the mine now.
Okay.
Pretty common names around here.
James, he's around your age, man. James
Martinez.
Yeah, he went to school here. He's from Safford, but lives up there now. Anyway, just to say, the dude's his family's great people, man. They have, and Roman, my oldest, isn't James's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was the little early one.
Right.
Bro, he's into cars and trucks.
Yeah.
And so for Christmas, when James's mom showed up, the back of her truck is just full of shit for Roman. You know what I mean? They're mine workers, man, and they put the work in, and they have decent income, and they flow it to all those kids, which is great.
Goes down.
So when Lee and I show up, we are literally in the presence of grandparents and great grandparents out the yin yang twins on that side, and then I'm the oldest surviving member of both my family lines.
Wow.
It's just me and one brother.
Yeah.
We have some cousins from the Clark side, and you know what I mean? But it's just us. So when me and Lee show up, not only were we usually the only white people at the party, or a la fiesta, as we say. I mean,
right.
Porque venimos a bailar un poco y tomar un poco. the point is that there's a lot of grandparents to choose from, and so for us, the special connection that we get is when we were there, we only stayed an hour, man, because those grandkids they won't leave us.
Yeah.
So
You're
like
chosen.
people are coming over and they're like, can we have Roman?
Yeah.
I'm like, we feel good. Yeah, please.
sure,
Roman, go with your aunt. And he's like, he'll just look. He does this great thing. Well, he'll just look off to the side, like the other way, and just get real
So
quiet.
you gotta
like,
leave. So,
Yeah, he's like,
So who? So somebody said hi to Jason.
oh, Carla Hernandez, Miss Hernandez.
Oh, Miss Hernandez from middle school.
Yeah,
Okay.
she knows about your place and everything. She's like, oh, Jason's doing.
yeah.
She said Levi Sanchez.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
treated you like one of those fucking. She said, haven't heard that. And she doesn't even smoke.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that name in years.
I was out to breakfast with my mom and dad and my sister yesterday at Denny's, and some heavyset guy comes up to me. He's a little older. He said, "You're Levi." And I said, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Oh man." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm being honest." I said, "Who am I speaking with? Who may I
Yeah.
ask?" He says, "Let me just say this: when you were younger, you were very troubled, and you were in my system. We'll say." And I was like, probation officer, law enforcement, maybe. I didn't recognize him, but he said you look phenomenal. You know, and it blows a lot of people's minds. Jason in a situation too where,
Beans? No. We're gonna. If you don't mind.
What's that?
Jason? If you don't mind.
What's it?
We're gonna exclude you for a second
Sure.
as the host of this podcast. I'm gonna just pretend it's just Jason.
Yeah,
as the
yeah,
host,
yeah, go for it.
And that we're talking about my good Jason. Have I ever told you about my good friend Levi Sanchez? Have I ever told you about how long I've known this dude? I have known Levi Sanchez for a very long time, and one of the things, and the conversations that we have between us as friends are different. But one of the things I will say is that there are very few people in this valley who and not that my time's worth anything, but there are very few people that I will fucking set aside a block of time for, because I know if they're talking to me, then they're hearing me on a different level, and it's a level that I'm trying to speak at.
Right.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
I can't fucking comeback, kid. You're like the Kurt Warner of life, man. You know what I mean? Like, so let me give you an example. There are two men that I know. One, his name's Tim Ybarra. He's an old school cat, worked in the mine with me, overhead crane operator. He's a great guy. The other one's name is Herman B.B. Andrews.
Oh, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I walk in, we'd come down. The day I got kicked out of the day I got thrown out of Jerry's, matter of fact,
Right.
I had just walked out of the happiest experience in a Circle K I've ever had in my life. I've been in a lot of Circle Ks.
Yeah.
I walk in, I see Tim Ybarra talking with B.B. Andrews.
Oh wow.
And I walk up and I put my hand on each one of their shoulders and I said, I'm standing in the presence of two men who I know real well, but I'll bet you don't recognize me. And they said, no, we don't. And then I just left. I got real sad. No, I said, Scott Tomlin. And then I did a little dance, and they both started laughing. And BB was wearing a mask, and behind it, I seen his eyes go wide. And I said, you didn't think I'd make it this long, did you?
Yeah.
And as I left, those two men were laughing. The only other name that I'll drop, I don't know any famous people. I don't even know Justin Gaethje.
I don't either.
My ex-wife knows him. All my kids know Justin Gaethje
like
and have
personally?
signed personally.
Oh,
yeah. They all know him.
Yeah.
Even my Melena's son and them. Everybody knows him except for me, which is fine. I wish him the best, man.
Yeah, we got.
I'm running the battery out. on these motherfuckers today. Can I say something about Justin Gaethje?
Of course, man. But then after that, we got to.
I don't know him, but this is what I've told. I was in Flagstaff.
Okay.
When Justin kind of was making his rise. And he was up there too. Actually, Justin ate at a restaurant that we both worked at called Kachina Kitchen that isn't open anymore on a day we were off and did not encounter him at all.
The way your luck fucking slants.
Well, we worked for a chef named Chef Brett Vibber, who's now Maynard Keegan's head chef at the winery.
Oh, no shit.
We
yeah.
worked with him down Oak Creek Canyon, and
I
literally
love
2
you.
months later, he's fucking Maynard's chef, and then literally, for the Jake Paul fight, Mike Tyson went down there and trained at Maynard's fucking gym.
No shit.
I was like, dude, I was one step away from meeting the guy who does the voice of Mike Tyson on Mike Tyson's Mysteries.
One step away. Dude, that's all.
Should have led with that.
I met
Next time, lead with the interesting part.
I met Justin in a bar. He took a picture with me, and that's as far. So, he's my favorite fighter.
Oh.
All day. But this is how much.
Money on him versus Conor McGregor any day of the fucking week.
I like Justin so much that I can't watch him fight anymore because it breaks my heart.
You know, are you aware of the story that happened with Dana White? That similar story, man. That's how Chuck Liddell retired from UFC fighting. Dana, they just couldn't watch him fight no more, man.
Yeah.
They just fucking told her. They were like,
my faith in Justin's there.
No, Justin, and Justin's much younger. Justin's at the top of.
Yeah.
Justin's if Justin, from what I hear, because I don't follow UFC anymore, man.
Yeah.
But if Justin were to retire after this fight, win or loss,
Yeah.
Justin's done his work.
Oh, he's a champ to me forever.
Champion, man. And from Safford, Arizona,
Fuck
it shows you.
All day. So we're getting
Signing out.
Yeah, we're
We taught you nothing.
Yeah,
we promised you everything. We did not deliver.
Hey, no, I want you back though. Now that we're running again, man.
Damn, he's giving me old Jackson 5 vibes, baby.
I want you back,
He
baby.
he said, we don't even talk anymore. We don't even know you about.
It's a
I was
fuck.
like, damn.
Damn, dude.
All right, well.
That's what I said when I was looking at you right now. Those are my eyes. Are saying,
Don't wait till. I said, all right, the water's dry, bro. The healer's gone.
Dude, we're doing. Remember live on our first episode?
Yeah, and he made fun of it. So I learned to play it on the guitar. I'll play it for you.
Yeah. What was the the Boys to Men
That
song
was
that we were
it. Water
singing?
runs dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's somebody
We
said.
don't even know what we are. That was on that same dude, Boys to Men. And hey, Motown Philly back again. Motown Philly.
But somebody said it sounded like we rehearsed that.
Oh,
And
no.
I said, no.
We don't rehearse.
No, we
this
just
is improv, baby.
we just fucking did it.
This is
no
live
rehearsal.
baby. I'm this silly all the time.
But anyhow, so Lee, thank you so much for coming. Scott, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being on
guys
the
for
show.
having us.
We love you guys dearly.
Missed
and
you.
We'll have you back.
And next time, listen, viewers, the intention wasn't even to hear me gib gab for this whole
No,
time.
it was, yeah,
The intention was I was going to bring a gentleman that I know who I'm going to hold the name back.
Yeah.
Until we can get him
Yes,
on
sir.
the program for you guys.
I want him
because
really bad on the show.
Family emergency.
Family emergency. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's okay.
you know
I mean,
what? So
bless
I'm
his heart.
doubly not going to say
Yeah.
anything about that. But just to know, listen, Levi has put a mandate out. If you want to get famous and you're from Safford, the only way, there's only one fucking. What are you gonna do? Go be on try to make the cover of the EA Courier, homie.
Or be on our podcast.
That's That's
yeah.
it. This is the
We're
only
worldwide.
Yeah.
Listen,
the gateway to
nobody. This is exclusive interviewing, dude. Do you know that I put off Theo Vaughn? Theo Vaughn was like, "You got kicked out of Jerry's," and I'm like, "Hey,
whoa.
Theo,
Yeah.
I'm saving that for
you don't even know where Jerry's is."
Your podcast isn't as good.
Now, but if you want to come tour the hometown with a couple of guys that I think would like to talk to you, man, fucking,
Dude,
why
I'd
don't you come
love
sit down on
to talk to
AYS?
Theo.
all day.
Theo Vaughn seems like the kind of dude who would understand like Safford, Arizona.
Oh,
to a
dude,
fucking
very
T,
well,
man.
very well.
You know who else?
Salt of the earth.
Bro, him and Lee, your guru,
Who's
Duncan Trussell. Duncan
Who's that-
Trussell,
who's that,
baby.
Duncan Trussell?
Oh, if
He's
you don't know
a stand-up
Duncan
comedian?
Trussell, yeah,
Okay.
and he's a big time. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. The dude's
Trussell,
just a
look him
real. There's a whole
Small
Netflix-
time guy.
Small.
Small time guy.
He was, man, and then he's kind of like a self-help guy. I mean, he's a.
So I'm gonna, in being in your presence right now, I'm gonna just say out loud what my goal for this whole entire show is. One is to have people like you on the show and for your voice to be heard. But two, is
Not you, but people like you.
People like me. Hey, if you're out there and you like me, call a professional and get some help, man.
I also my goal is to eventually make it onto the Joe Rogan show. Once Jason and I have made it there, I feel like
You know what I told my grateful and very, very. I'm so proud of the kid. But you know what I told my son? I said, you're one call away. Right? Because if you call Justin Gaethje and just ask him if he could mention your dad to Joe Rogan one time,
we're done.
Not even to Joe, just to Jamie.
Yeah,
Mentions
just
it-
Jamie. Go
then he could
by the way of Jamie.
And he could just find me on the algorithm.
Then we're
I'm out there.
good, dude, for real. And guess what? We're helping you because I know you're gonna. Yeah, you're on the episode. Yeah,
Hopefully we're making a little bit of cross action. Listen, if you ever see any type of rating system for AYSM podcast, it is imperative. These two hosts don't even know the exclusivity that I'm going to drop. There is another podcast out there, ladies and gentlemen, masquerading. It's called the Are You Shitting Me podcast, and it's hosted by two lame losers. I don't even listen to it. I'm just guaranteeing lame losers. I'm sorry, but my algorithm, I'm a level 7 Google local guide as of today, and I'm coming for you. Anybody who ever hears the AYSM name again better only know that it's Levi Sanchez and fucking Jason Truesdale bringing you
exclusive,
the hottest takes, baby. You want to know why that guy got pulled over outside 20th? You tune in. We'll tell you. Start running a scanner.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Thank you, Scott. We'll see you next time, buddy.